Good morning. How are you doing out there? Okay, hanging in there? Very good. Welcome to Golden Gate Center for Spiritual Living, those of you that are in the room and those of you that are online. Happy to see you all this morning. I'm Reverend Mary Murray Shelton, the community spiritual leader here. And whoever you are, wherever you may be on your pathway of faith, you're welcome here. We believe that when we show up in this space, it's because we're here by divine appointment and the infinite has need of us to be together, just exactly this group of people today. So whether you're online or you're here, thank you for keeping your divine appointment. And I want to take this time to invite you to say hi to each other. So now that you've sat down, Marilyn, everybody please stand up and move around, say good morning, greet people, introduce yourselves, welcome anyone you haven't seen for a while. Those of you online, give yourselves a hug. Pour another cup of coffee. We'll be right back with you in just a moment. Okay. All right. So, having established ourselves as a community, we're going to sing together. So, first we say hello, we warm up our voices, then we get ready to sing, then we get quiet. So, Daniel Nahmod is our musician this morning. We always love it when it's Daniel. And as you know, Daniel talks a lot. So, he has a couple of songs here where he has a whole lot to say. And just enjoy him because he's a wonderful person. He has performed his profound, heart-opening original music for over 1 million people in the United States and Canada. And he's sold over 110,000 CDs. He has had media appearances of his music on Saturday Night Live, The Voice, American Idol, the Super Bowl, and the Today Show. And so we're just grateful to have him back because we enjoy him so much when he's here. So this first song that he's going to do this morning with us is called Sacred Love, and it's pretty easy to pick up. So stand now and join us for Sacred Love with Daniel Nahmod.
Good morning, Golden Gate. Nice to be back with you. I believe I sang for you 6 or 7 weeks ago now, and at the time I said, I think, if I remember correctly, I hope you're staying warm and dry. And here we are, and it is still cold and raining down here in Orange County. I don't know about how it is up there for you, but I still hope you're staying warm and dry, and I hope you're doing well, and happy Sunday morning, and I'm glad to be here with you. Let's sing this song together. It's a song called Sacred Love to start our service. You are sacred love, sacred love is all that you are. You are sacred love, God, sacred love is all that you are. You are blessed peace, you are blessed peace, blessed peace is all that you are. You are blessed peace, God, blessed peace is all that you are. Show the way, God, show the way. I want to live in such a state of grace. Lead the way, God, lead the way. I want to live in such a holy place. Such a holy place. You are deepest joy. You are deepest joy. Deepest joy. Show the Way one more time, because I think it'll tie in nicely with the beautiful theme that Mary has for you this morning. Let's sing one more time. Ready? Take a deep breath. Show the way. Show the way, God, show the way. I want to live in such a state of grace. Lead the way, God, lead the way. I want to live in such a holy place. Sing it again. Show the way, God, show the way. I want to live in such a state of grace. Lead the way, God, lead the way. I want to live in such a holy place. Such a holy place. Once more, you are sacred love. You are sacred love. Sacred love is all that you are. You are sacred love, God. Sacred love is all that you are.
Yes.
Nice job. Good morning.
Please be seated. All right. So this is the time that we begin to go within. So I'm going to encourage you to turn off your cell phones, or at least silence them. That would be just fine. And we will begin to settle in now. You know, it's important that we take our space when we arrive and that we connect as one, as we've done with our voices. And now that we have established the community, both online and in the room, now we're going to go within. So our morning prayer practitioner is Suzanne Dubois, and she's going to come up and do the opening for us.
Good morning. And so if you would take a minute, close your eyes, and remember, place yourself in your chair, going deep, allowing yourself to just be here in the presence of the one infinite life, that which is love, beauty, and peace. I know and accept the oneness that we all are within that which creates out of itself all that is. Each and every individual in this room, from every single molecule within you, is part of God. And so am I. I know that I am, as you are, a unique, individualized manifestation of spirit, and that all is possible. All that you can imagine is possible, and that you are a unique gift to the world. I claim and know for all of us today that we are here we will get and do get exactly what we came here for. And that in Reverend Mary's words, we find a moment or more of beauty and love and peace for each of us. And I claim that now. And in deep gratitude, I welcome all the good, all that is manifest here and now and always for our good. And I release my word into the law of mind, letting it go, knowing it is so, and done, and so it is.
When things go wrong, it's natural to wonder What celestial rule did I break? When things go right, it's logical to ponder. What credit can I take? But the truth is so much easier. I don't need a master plan. I can live here in the moment, 'cause my life is in good hands. I don't need to know where the wind blows, 'cause God knows. I don't need to know what the future holds, 'cause God knows. I need never know how pain ends, how my heart mends. I can just let go, 'cause God knows. But still I find I'm crying out for answers. Guess I'm still craving control. And still I find I'm afraid of taking chances, as if I could damage my soul. But at this moment I remember it comes so clear to me that the minute I surrender, I'm as safe as I could be. I don't need to know where the time goes, 'cause God knows. I don't need to know what the future holds, 'cause God knows. I need never know how pain ends, how my heart mends. I can just let go, 'cause God knows. Oh, I need never know how pain ends, how my heart mends. I can just let go. I can just let go. I can just let go, 'cause God knows. God knows. God knows.
I always enjoy it when we have Daniel Namad, and I look forward to a time when he might be with us in person. So let's hold that thought. So we are living out loud in 2023, and that opens up a lot of cans of worms. This month, our theme has been letting the real me shine, like this little kid who has absolutely no concern about what anybody thinks. And one of the reasons little kids feel that way when they're healthy, happy little kids is that as far as they know, everybody loves them at that age, at that time, with the people around them, if life is all that we hope it is for little ones, yes? So this morning, we're looking at what happens when we allow ourselves to approve of ourselves so much that we don't require everyone else to approve of us in order to feel as good as that little kid. And over the years, as somebody who did a certain amount of image management in my own life to try and make sure that everybody liked me, I am aware of the hypocrisy that sets in when I have been upset that someone clearly didn't like me, whom I also did not like. But it bothered me that they didn't like me. So it's important, I think, that we be able to expand out to consider that in some cases, the only one that needs to approve of us is us. We're the only ones that know us from the inside out, yes? This lady says, despite very little effort on his part, our son Martin had done quite well in 3rd grade. One night, he announced over dinner that his friend Robert was the smartest in the class and had gotten all A's on his report card. Hoping that my son would realize how a little more effort would produce similar results for him, I asked, what would you have to do to be the smartest in the class? After some thought, Martin replied, get rid of Robert? Now, this is a situation in which Martin was not really too concerned with what he was producing, just how he was being perceived, or at least how his mother was perceiving him in that moment. And what we do in the process of evaluating one another is that we're hardest on people who either, well, okay, I'll just speak for myself. If somebody is doing something that I envy, that I wish I was doing, then I might find some other reason to judge them. That's not one of my better qualities, you know. But I discovered that when I envy somebody, then sometimes that's what I feel like I want to dethrone them somehow, yeah? And maybe I'm the only one who does this, but in my head, you know, that's what sometimes comes up for me. And I realize that if that's happening, then I'm comparing myself to them and finding myself wanting somehow, like not only wanting what they have, but being not enough somehow in my own estimation of myself, and then projecting that onto them. Can anybody relate to this? Yeah? Okay. So approval is wanting to feel that we are liked and admired. So when someone likes us and admires us, then we generally assume that they approve of us or that we feel accepted by them. If they agree with us, they have the same point of view that we do, we feel like compatriots in whatever it is, whatever we're talking about. If we feel included by them, like we have the impression that their impression of us is, you're one of us, you're included, you're part of this group. And we need that sense of approval most when we're not giving it to ourselves. When we're doubting ourselves, when we're feeling a little less than, those are the times when we seek out other people's approval the most, or when some of us do. I remember having a board member in Santa Rosa who really was a personality that did not require that other people like her or agree with her in order to be comfortable with herself. And for me, that was a stunning revelation that that was a possibility. I remember when my son was a junior in high school, and he had really long hair at that time, and he had it pulled back into a ponytail. And he was on the cross-country team, this kid who was over 6 feet tall with this long blonde hair. He's bald now, unfortunately, but that was the time, right? And long, gorgeous, honey blonde hair, right? And he told me once that some guy behind him in class once said to him, "I don't like your hair." And Luke's response to him was, "And I should care about this, why?" And I thought, I really admired that it was okay with him, that this guy didn't like his hair, and it was just information like, what are you telling me for? It doesn't make any difference to me. And I just thought that was such good self-esteem to be able to recognize that it really didn't matter if the other guy liked his hair or not. Me, I would have gone home and tried to figure out how to fix it if it was my hair, you know? So over the years, I've learned to try and catch myself more when I'm doing that sort of thing. Robin Myers wrote in The Underground Church, "By the choice of a single word, by a glance, by saying something that's encouraging, we project our evaluations of the worthiness on every human being we come into contact with." So when you looked at the guy where it said no approval required, the young guy looking very happy with himself, with his tattoos and his piercings and the age that he is and the clothing that he's wearing, he's absolutely comfortable and content being himself as he is. And more now, when I see people who have a lot of piercings or a lot of tattoos, it's just more information. You know, it's like, it doesn't really shock me or change my perspective of them or anything. Although there was a time when that would have really gotten my attention because it was so different. But now that it's not so different, it's like, oh, I don't have as much of an opinion about it. Does that make sense? When we see something for the first time, we tend to be, a little gobsmacked by it. A friend of mine who is a minister who was in, I believe it was Uganda recently, was with a group of children there who had never seen a white person. And she was a white person with blonde hair. So they all wanted to touch her skin and her hair because she was an anomaly, like, weird, this person who's so pale with this colorless hair. Like, what is that like? So the first time we encounter something, we may think it's wonderful, we may think it looks awful, we may be curious about it, we want to get in and find out more about it, or we may want to run the other way. Because as human beings, we want to feel comfortable with what we're around. We want to feel safe. We want to feel accepted and recognized and appreciated for who we are. We can do that for other people in our lives, whether they do it for us or not. Mary Pfeiffer said, "We accept our children and our grandchildren for the unique beings that they are. This acceptance gives them the confidence to feel they are worthy of the deep love they're given. It helps them see the universe as safe." And so for all of us, even as we're growing up, and even as however old we become, we look for places where we feel safe. Now, Daniel's song was just saying, really, we're safe wherever we are. And in a sense, that's true. Maybe or maybe not physically. But as a being, we're always safe because the infinite beingness that we are cannot be damaged or destroyed or wounded or anything. And that's the place that our sense of self and our own self-approval and self-esteem arise from. That place within us that is infinitely connected to the one. In that place, no matter what happens to us in the physical realm, no matter what our circumstances or conditions are, there is some part of us that is whole and safe all the time. However, when we are not feeling good about ourselves, when we're not approving of ourselves, when we're humiliated or embarrassed by something somebody has said to us in front of other people, or something we have said or done that has come back on us in a way that is embarrassing or humiliating, and I'm sure everybody in here has had that kind of experience at least once, that's the time when we feel like we need to be filled up with other people's approval. but it's also the time we need our own the most. David Brooks said, most of the time, we aim too low, walk in shoes too small for us. We spend our days shooting for a little burst of approval or some small career victory. It's as if we're trying so hard to get a little closer to the sun lamp. If we get up and live a different way, we can bathe in real sunshine. And so he's moving us toward the idea of accepting ourselves in a bigger way. You know, this little guy is dealing with a very crucial moment in our human experience. It's the moment of deciding how we're going to think and feel about ourselves, given the vulnerability we're experiencing and how very visible it is, particularly if we made the mistake ourselves. Then it's even worse to try and get through that moment to a place where we're okay with us. We come back to that. So when we are ready to stand out and be visible, no matter what the response is, we have a new mayor in Petaluma. He's a neighbor of ours, so we know him. And it's so interesting to watch him listen and ask questions and interact with people, because I think that he comes from a very high desire for everybody that he's dealing with to feel heard and to feel like they matter and their opinion matters and they're safe, even if he disagrees with them. To stay in that non-defensive, ready to listen, ready to speak, ready to be present place within him. When we're confident in our own perceptions or our own interpretation of things or our own sense of what is right for us, then we can stand in that and be comfortable with it, be grounded in it, no matter what's going on around us. So when I'm comfortable with myself, I can let somebody disagree with me or ask me a difficult question. I can remember when I was on tour with my book in 2000, I was in a bookstore in Iowa doing a presentation, a workshop, and there was a woman in the group who, when we got to the question and answer period, raised her hand, and she said, "It just sounds to me like what you're talking about is a bunch of watered-down Buddhism." Now, inside myself, I immediately turned to Jello, but I didn't want to be defensive in my response to that, and I wanted to not put myself down either, you know? So I heard myself say, because something good took over for me in that moment, I heard myself say to her, well, all the world faiths and spiritual teachings have the same foundation, the same underpinnings. So it probably does sound really familiar if you have any kind of path. And if you have a spiritual path that works really well for you, great, do that, whatever it is. But I was like that, inside myself, even as I heard myself say that. And then part of me was like, phew, thank God, I got through that question, okay. Viola Davis said once, there's no prerequisites to worthiness, you're born worthy. So this little guy in this moment is absolutely 100% worthy. And the truth is, there's nothing we can ever do that would cause God to disapprove of us. Anybody else might, including us, but not God. That spirit, the infinite presence, the intelligence, the beauty, the love, always holds us in wholeness, knows who we are. We are its expression, so why would it disapprove of us? We've been set free to go learn. If we make mistakes in the process, so much the better, really, because when we make a mistake, we have new information. Even when we embarrass ourselves, we have new information to help us do better next time. So Ernest Holmes, our founder, the founder of Centers for Spiritual Living, wrote, "The road to self-recovery," well, he said self-discovery, but I would say self-recovery also, often calls for the clearing away of the underbrush of ignorance, fear, superstition, and a sense of isolation, which has made us feel that we were unworthy, unheld, and lost. In the divine providence of good, salvation is unnecessary, but self-discovery is essential. We do not save that which was lost, we merely discover that which needs to be found. And that's what happens when we come into that place where we're really comfortable enough with ourselves that we're able to accept the consequences of what we've done, to be accountable for it, and to be at least confident enough in it to be willing to listen to somebody else's opinion and be open to the possibility that there might be more information that would change our minds. When my son Luke was turning 6, he was in kindergarten. And he was living with his dad in Seattle at the time, and I had flown back from Santa Rosa for his birthday to surprise him. And when I went to the school that day, I saw that there had been a survey among the kids in that class about what some of their favorite things were. And it was posted, the numbers, not the names of the kids. And it was like, what's your favorite color? And then it showed how many colors got how many votes. What's your favorite flavor of ice cream? And so on. And I don't even remember what the other questions were, because I knew that my son's favorite color was yellow at that time in his life, and his favorite ice cream was vanilla. Now, the majority of kids in the class had said their favorite color was red, and their favorite flavor of ice cream was chocolate. And I asked Luke, what was your vote? And he said he voted for chocolate and red. And I felt a little sad about that. But I know how easy it is for us to feel pulled by the tide of a lot of opinion, or the weight of opinion, and wanting to be part of and to fit in and to not stick out and seem different. There was an experiment done in the 1970s, a psychological experiment, where the subject of the experiment, they didn't realize they were the subject of the experiment, came into a room with an expert moderator. And they had a machine in front of them. And they were told that when the moderator indicated it, they were supposed to press a button that would give a person in the next room electric shock in order to help them learn a particular task. And so whenever the moderator gave them the cue, they were supposed to hit this button and give the other person a shock. And then the moderator would ask them to turn up the level of the voltage a little bit more and a little bit more until they could hear the person screaming in the other room. And the question was, were they going to continue to turn the voltage up? Because this person said, no, they're perfectly fine, it's okay. And this, you're actually helping them. This is serving them to help them learn. And, this is how this works. They've already agreed to it. Most of the people gave the invisible person in the other room who was doing all the screaming, who was, of course, in on it and was not being shocked, they gave that person way more voltage than they would have done if it had been left up to them. And they felt uncomfortable, but they kept raising the voltage. I don't know if any of it would have been fatal if somebody had actually been hooked up to the voltage. But the point was, they set aside their own best judgment, their own intuition about what was right, their own conscience about whether or not they should do it, because in the presence of the authority figure who was assuring them that everything was fine, they decided to just follow orders, just follow the directions. That's what they were expected to do. And so it's common. Maybe some of us are stronger at saying no at some point earlier, or maybe we're stronger at speaking about what is true for us, even when it isn't the same as anybody else. Amanda and I went to see a movie not long ago that has gotten raves. I mean, people have adored it. It's won a gazillion awards. People are just nuts over it. I didn't like it. It's like, well, I wish I liked it. I think I should like it. I want to like it. Other people like it. What are they seeing that I'm not seeing? What are they experiencing that I'm not valuing? And instead of being comfortable with that, I'm telling you about it because it still bugs me, right? And that's happened to me with other movies before. Michael Sun used to have a song called How Could I Be So Right and Be So Wrong? And one of the verses he talks about, I went to a recommended movie, and for the next 2 hours, I kept waiting for the good parts to come. And at the end, the 2 hours were over, and the good part never came. And he says, and then I found, there was no good parts. He said, and then I found out it's a runaway success. Best picture, best director. And his chorus is, how could I be so right and be so wrong? So this is sometimes our human experience, that we inwardly have an experience of something that is true for us and doesn't match anybody else's. And then the question is, am I right or am I wrong? Or is that even the question? Maybe what's so is just, this is so for me. Oh, well. It doesn't mean I'm right or I'm wrong. It doesn't mean I'm better or worse. It just means that's how it is for me. Yes? Brené Brown said, if we want to live and love with our whole hearts, and if we want to engage with the world from a place of worthiness, we have to talk about the things that get in the way, especially shame, fear, and vulnerability. So that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing today. If we were to look for an ideal balance, then we don't want to be egotistical, but we do want to stand for ourselves and love us just as we are. Just as we are. If we're going to live out loud, if we're going to let the real me shine through, then we at least internally get to be who we really are. And in those places where it works, we also get to be who we are for everybody else. There may be some times when that's not ideal, but ideally we have a balance. We get to stand for ourselves and our values without being defensive about it. Just, this is how it is for me, and listening. We need to listen respectfully and consider others' values. Maybe their value is the same as ours, but the way they apply it or their perspective about it is different than ours. Maybe their value is not the same as ours, but it is something that we would value if we knew more about it. And when we learn from them, we might include that or change our minds or adapt what we thought. And we treat others as worthy of respect. The Buddha said, you can search the whole universe and not find a single being more worthy of love than yourself. Since each and every person is so precious to themselves, let the self-respecting harm no other being. So when we're taking that into our beingness, we're allowing the acceptance that we have within ourselves be extended outward to other people. It's easy to do that with people that we already approve of, but we can certainly treat and choose to treat other people with respect, even when we don't understand or approve of them. I guess it was Werner Erhard who said, understanding is the booby prize. And I think maybe what he meant by that is, if you let a lack of understanding be the wall between you and somebody else, understanding is not particularly helpful. You may never understand them. It doesn't mean you have to have the wall, right? And so as much as I want to understand things, or often when I really disagree with something, I keep saying, I just don't understand, right? And maybe it doesn't matter if I don't understand. That's an interesting idea. Maybe understanding is the booby prize, and listening and speaking respectfully and trying to build bridges between ourselves. Maybe that's where the real value lies, not in the understanding. Maybe we can look at each other and say, I don't agree with you, but I appreciate that you're really willing to share what you believe with me and give me space to share what I believe with you. And just let it be. You might become the best of friends, and just let that be that over there. Lao Tzu said, because one believes in oneself, one doesn't try to convince others. Because one is content with oneself, one doesn't need others' approval. Because one accepts oneself, the whole world accepts them. So I want to end with this reminder from the Reverend Dr. Michael Beckwith from the Agape International Center. Michael said, just hug yourself and transcend any thought forms about your unworthiness and about not being good enough, about being unsupported by the universal presence. Any thought form that would in any way not be in alignment with the absolute truth that you are cradled, enveloped, and loved by a presence that is never an absence. By a presence that is never an absence. Namaste. Thank you. So let's take this within now into our own hearts. This presence that is never an absence is a presence of pure, unadulterated love. Whatever level of maximum love I can imagine, I know that it is so much more, bigger, deeper, richer than that. And I am a divine idea in that presence that brought its expression of that idea forward into being as me. And this is true of everyone, everywhere, and everything, that all of us always are the divine ideas of God made manifest in form. That palpable presence of love slowed down enough to become visible as apparent individuals who are absolutely connected always and forever with the one presence. That is who I am. That is who we are. Therefore, all of the qualities of the one are right here, within and around. The thoughts of the infinite presence resonate within us, not necessarily in words, lifting us up into the highest level we can stretch to in this moment of awakening, of peace and safety, of extending loving kindness and respect to one another. So I declare that our path this week is laid with groundstones so that every step of the way we are reminded of the wholeness that we are and of the wholeness that we share, regardless of anybody's opinions, including our own. We hold those opinions lightly, knowing there is so much more than we know. And yet, there is a deep, abiding wisdom within and through all of us, bringing forward more wholeness, more healing, more life, more love, more peace, more creativity, and more joy. And we are so grateful to fling the doors open and allow that to fill us up to overflowing, allowing it to overflow into our expressions, our words, our actions, our thoughts, our prayers. We're so grateful that this is the truth, that it's easy to let it go into the creative law and simply let it be. We do that now. And together, we claim it by saying, and so it is. Yes. Please stand and join me in the morning affirmation. I am safe. People do not need to give approval for me to be who I am. I enjoy their approval, and I don't require it to be happy. And so it is. Yes, you may be seated. It's so great to recognize that we can give people the freedom not to approve of us. You know, because if we give them the freedom not to approve of us, we give ourselves the freedom to let it be okay that they don't approve of us. It's just another opinion, right? So this is our sacred offering time when we are giving of ourselves. So when we say in our offering blessing, this gift I give is God in action, it's also us in action. Every gift that we give forth is a part of us. It comes from the infinite abundance that's being channeled our way through us. But when it comes forth, it is God as that, and it's also our energy that goes with it. So ushers, please come on up. As we give this morning, I invite you to bless everything you have given this week, from a smile to a hello, to doing a big favor for somebody, to anything that you gave to, or that you donated to, or that you served as a volunteer, to bless all of it. If you want to give this morning via text, the number is 415-779-7613. You can do that. You can give in all the other ways that are also available. But what we want to be able to do this morning is to bless all of those offerings, and indeed all the ones that Golden Gate has received in this past week. So we do that by saying this blessing together in unison right now. This gift I give is God in action. I now send it forth to bless and to prosper. I know that everywhere it goes, it is creating a world living in love, one heart and one thought at a time. And so it is. You'll get a kick
I have
out
a lot
of
of
this.
songs on the subject of today, and it's probably no accident. I mean, I was raised by two lawyers. I'm supposed to be a lawyer. This is supposed to be a suit and a tie. I'm supposed to have a pension and benefits and 401k, for God's sake. And instead, I write songs. And so on a daily basis, I'm pretty much deviating from almost everybody's expectations ever placed on me my entire life. And therefore, on a daily basis, I have to know or remind myself that where I am, who I am, what I've done, what I've become, where I'm headed, that these are all internally dictated and, most importantly, internally true. This is my highest and best. This is my greatest service to humanity. This is what I was born to sing and say. And this is how I was born to use my voice, my hands, my mind, my body, right? On a daily basis. So I just thought I would sing you one of my feistier songs. I just have a feeling that during this morning service, somebody has been feeling a little feisty, him or herself. I just have a feeling that somebody watching or present has had to resist those expectations, repel them, hold them at arm's length, and remind him or herself on a constant basis maybe that who you are and what you came to be and do, only you know and only you decide. So if it sounds like a cranky song, it's more tongue-in-cheek than anything, but I hope you get a kick out of it. It's one of my wordiest songs, and that's saying a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm going to sing along with my own track, my own recording from an album called My Day Is Made. And like I said, hopefully you enjoy it, and maybe you'll relate. Here we go. Well, it's always been funny in an unfunny way. How many opinions about me you decide you should say? Well, lately it's impossible to know anymore. Did I make up my own mind? Is this my life or yours? Time to grab the spotlight, time to shout it out loud, tell you what's on my mind, show you what I'm about. Time to kick the gloves off, time to get my game on, time to prove to myself once and for all that I can stand strong. Time's a wasting, and I gotta say that life's for tasting. That's why I'm gonna do what I do. Yeah, I'm gonna do what I do. I got nothing to lose and nothing to prove to you. I'm gonna do what I do. I suppose I should thank you in a weird sort of way for teaching me to hate the games people play. 'Cause every time I tell you that I've gotta be true, you keep sliding on in to make it all about you. Now that I think about it, I don't owe you nothing. I don't need the blame, no, I don't buy your bluffing. Guess you better back off, guess you better make way. No more time to slack off, I ain't kissing off another day. Gonna do what I do, yeah, I'm gonna do what I do. I got nothing to lose and nothing to prove to you. I'm gonna do what I do. Losing my mind, playing it safe, towing the line just to keep you from being afraid. What a mistake when riding the brakes never gets me anywhere. No more Mr. Nice Guy, time to be a wise guy. Someone gets in my way, someone gonna get a stink eye. 20 years in business, nothing but a big mess, lying right to my face like I cannot tell the difference. If I can't make the work work, put me in the dirt. Take my tailored t-shirt, getting what I deserve. Everything you said, I'm getting right out of my head. Refuse to drown in my regret. No, I ain't dead yet. Gonna hit that reset. Time's a wasting, and I gotta say that life's for tasting. And I'm telling you, it's a prize worth chasing. That's why I'm gonna do what I do. Yeah, I'm gonna do what I do. I got nothing to lose and nothing to prove to you. I'm gonna do what I do. I'm gonna do what I do, yeah. I'm gonna do what I do. I'm gonna do what I do. There you go. Thanks.
Woo! Okay. That's the thing. I'm going to do what I do. Yeah, right. So let's bless this offering together. We accept it, all of us together, on behalf of Golden Gate. And we want to infuse this offering today to go out in the world and make people safe to be themselves authentically and do what they do. And so it is. So it is. All right. Now, if you're with us for the first time this morning, you're going to find on this back table all kinds of information you can pick up and take with you about us, and also welcome packets. And inside of them, you'll find this blue card. And if you please fill this out and turn it in at that back table, we're going to give you a little book. And the little book is our gift to you. It's called Nourishing Thoughts. It's full of little inspirations for all kinds of ups and downs in life. And that's our thank you to you for being here and our invitation to you to come back and be with us often in the future. Also want to take a moment to thank everybody who is on the team that put this morning together and got everything ready for us. You know, this is just a big empty room when we come in. So I want to just thank all of them, Leslie for the lovely altar, and everybody that's been involved in working this morning. And by the way, is not Jim Homa on the sound this morning, it's actually Dana Ewell. So let's acknowledge everybody who participated this morning. Today is our annual membership meeting. Everybody's welcome to attend. There is going to be food immediately after the service. If you are a member, then you need to sign in so we'll know that we have people here for a quorum. No, the sign-ins are going to be over here for the meeting. I don't know what those are. That's Easter sign-ups. Yeah, there are sign-ups for classes and sign-ups for Easter, but the sign-in table for the meeting is going to be over here this morning. So before you get your food, please come to this table and sign in. And then you go ahead and get your food and eat. And the meeting will be right here in this room after everybody's had a bit of a nosh, okay? So everybody's welcome to stay, but we do have some voting that we're doing today, so only the members can actually vote. But you're more than welcome to be here, participate, get all the state of the center kind of info, all right? Also, I'm getting ready to teach one of our basic classes, our foundations class. This is one of the ones that you can take that it becomes the prerequisite to everything else up to practitioner studies. So this class is a great refresher if you haven't had it in a number of years, but it's also terrific for new folks that are just coming to get more familiar with what we believe and how it applies to life. It's 10 Tuesdays starting April 11th. You can sign up at the back table to participate in this class, or you can register for it online if you go to our calendar page, which is under the Classes and Events tab. Just go to the calendar page. You'll find it on that date. Click it, and it will show you how to go to the registration page. And also, Marilyn Letzos is here this morning. Marilyn is going to be teaching Quick Start the Sunday after Easter. And so if you're going to participate in that, which is a 2-hour encapsulated, very specific version kind of the foundation's information, but it's very interactive. Yeah, it's fun. And people enjoy doing that with Marilyn. It's on a love offering basis. It's on Zoom. And the way that you sign up for that is, I believe you can sign up at the back table, but also email the office so that Sonia can send you all of the Zoom info and the student workbook and all of that. And you'll find a flyer on the back table. It looks like this. Pick that up. It tells you everything you need to know about the class. All right. Also, a couple of weeks after Easter, Barbara Cox and I are going to do a workshop called Conscious Aging, Considering the Second Half of Life. Now, I don't intend to live to be 139, so I'm not sure it's the second half. In my case, it might actually be the last third, but whatever. Whatever age you are, we're going to do this workshop from 12 to 2 in this room. We're going to have some lunch available, so you can sign up for that on the back table as well. That is free, and we'd love to have you there for that. Also, our anniversary is this month, or no, not this month, but by next Sunday it'll be this month. In April, we turn 40. Golden Gate Center for Spiritual Living. Did everybody get your invitation in the mail? Yes. And on the flip side is your invitation to Easter. Easter will be right here. And if you have been a member for a while and you have photos or memories that you'd like to share, send them to me. And I can use those. Now, you can also invite people who are out of area and would like to congratulate us to go to this website, tribute.co, and put in a little short video for Golden Gate congratulating us. And so we're looking forward to that. So please pass that on to people that you know. I believe that website is in your bulletin this morning. Also, the concert is coming. How many of you have your tickets already for the concert? Oh, fabulous. Now you can get them. Normally you'll be able to get them on Sunday morning, but I forgot them. So what you need to do to buy them is to go to the website, right? ggcsl.org. Look under the Donate tab, and you'll see the tab for tickets for the concert. And just click on that. It's $30 for one, $50 for two. And so you can get multiples if you need to. And we're going to have the best time at this concert, so you won't want to miss it. Also, reminding you of Wednesday meditations at 7:15 on Zoom that I lead. And because we have 5 Wednesdays this month, this Wednesday will be a meditation surprise, which means even I don't know yet what it's going to be. So come and we'll all find out, all right? And so please remember that for Easter, there will be a potluck lunch on the patio. We're declaring it to be a sunny, warm day, the 9th of April, but there will be a potluck either way. So we have sign-up sheets at the back for salads, for main courses, for veggies, and for desserts, chips and that kind of stuff. But everybody tends to want to bring bread, chips, and dessert. And believe me when I say I want to eat more things that day than bread, chips, and dessert, and I'm guessing you do too. So please look at the list, choose what you can bring that would serve about 10 people, and write that down. Make sure that you label everything, you bring all your own servingware, it's all ready to go, because we don't have a team to plate it for you or anything. But just bring it ready to go. Remember to take your plates home with you afterwards, but have a fabulous time. So plan for that. And Reverend Carol and Reverend Lloyd will be here also that morning. So prayer, yes. Ernest Holmes once said that we believe in prayer more than any class of person on earth. Prayer is the one thing, our particular form of prayer, spiritual mind treatment, is the one thing that is unique to us. Yes, Christian scientists do treatment, but it's not exactly what we do. Our particular form of treatment is unique to us. And so if you would like an affirmative prayer this morning, please stop at the table, talk to Suzanne or Rick, and they will do a prayer for you. I want to invite the practitioners to surround the room right now so that we can do our closing prayer. All right. So in this moment, recognizing the one presence, the one power all around us and within us, we are whole, complete, and perfect just as we are, and just as we are not right now. So I know and declare this week to be a blessing in advance. I declare this week to be an experience for each one of us that leads us into greater light and happiness and peace, letting go of our disapproval of ourselves or any negative opinions that we hold, allowing ourselves to breathe and blossom and be, and knowing that the universe authentically surrounds, supports, and knows us as we do this, that on the invisible side, there are massive numbers supporting us to do this, cheering us on, knowing our wholeness as we know it for one another and for ourselves. So we bless this week and this meeting in advance with great gratitude, letting this word go into the creative law. And together we say, and so it is. Yes. Please stand and join me as we do the benediction and prepare for the closing song. All right. So we say this as one. I now walk so that whoever walks beside me dwells in the presence of God, and whoever places a hand in mine is lifted, and whoever thinks of me is illumined with God consciousness, for spirit and all people and I are one eternally, and so it is. Now we're going to sing My Soul is Welcome here with Daniel Nahmad.
All right, one more song. Thanks for having me again, and have a wonderful week ahead. And, by the way, you're always invited to join me on Monday nights. I do a live concert on Facebook Live That sounded redundant, but it wasn't. Daniel Namod USA is my name on Facebook. Daniel Namod USA, 6 o'clock every Monday night. You're invited. Sing this with me, won't you? I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Sing it again. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. One more time. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks again. Have a great week.
Sign in if you're a member before you get your lunch. It's Ramadan. Oh, it means blessed.